potato sandwiches and fries and declared that we'd had way worse at book parties. "When the red flame goes out," Rose used to say, "we're leaving New York." One night we left work too late to see a band in the East Village, and I remember Rose saying, "Well, we missed it. We missed U2 at Red Rocks. We missed Billie Holiday at the Blue Note. Napoleon, Sid Vicious, Martin Luther King, Muhammad Ali, Moses, May of '68 and July of 1789. We missed it. All of it." I had to sit down on the sidewalk on Avenue B. I was laughing so hard. I think of that all the time. We missed it. All of it. 2. When Rose and I moved to the city, living in Brooklyn meant you had to commute to Manhattan in order to have a good time. Tokens were still the only currency accepted by the subway. The New York Times printed their photos in black and white, and there was no such thing as the style section. Coffee cost less than $1. You could smoke in bars. Tower Records still stood at the corner of Broadway and 4th Street. The most important machines at work were telephones, Xerox machines, faxes, computers, and printers. If you needed to temp, you could still sign up, like your grandmother did, with a Kelly Girl service, and some of the Midtown offices they sent me to had IBM Selectrics sitting out on the desks, like old horses nodding off in their stalls, and I can still hear the warm hum they radiated between words, and the clicking of the cylinders as you pulled the paper up and out of them. The Strand was a dump. Other places were dumps, too. Dumps or near dumps, like McHale's and the Subway Inn, and Rudy's and the Holiday Cocktail Lounge. But the Strand stands out at the moment because I was in there the other day marveling again at the heaps of branded merch that now greet its guests, and contrasting that place with the one that used to smell of dust and the funk of its unwashed cashiers. We drank at night in dumps, ate in near dumps, sat in vinyl booths patched up with duct tape, pissed in scrawled-up, paint-peeling, rust-watered bathrooms. Nobody minded or cared. That's how you knew you were not in the suburbs. Everyone has their own New York, and this was ours. Rose and I met in 1997 at a music magazine we used to refer to as WKRP. On my first day, as she led me down a cramped hallway back to my cubicle, through a gauntlet of offices blasting music from behind closed doors, I apparently wondered aloud, "And where are the adults?" Rose always said that's when she knew she liked me. Rose, of course, scared me a little, but she didn't scare me as much as the girl with an office at the end of the hallway, Tracy, the managing editor, who was actually sleeping with musicians we loved. Bikini Kill be damned. Since Tracy was doing all of this while earning a master's in psychology from CUNY, however, you couldn't call her a groupie. You wouldn't dare call her a groupie, because she'd tell you to go fuck yourself and ask you how much fun you were having over there in your saddle shoes. Tracy. She wasn't tall, but bony and angular enough to make you think she was, and her black hair, chopped into a bob, gleamed blue, just like Veronica's did in the Archie comics Rose and I later discovered we were both addicted to as kids. Tracy's official title was managing editor, but her true value lay not in wrangling copy, but in wrangling all the talent for the magazine's annual music festival. No one knew where Tracy lived or where she'd come from, although someone thought they'd heard it was Forest Hills. Someone once said that she didn't even graduate from college. Tracy. She drew all kinds of glamour to herself, and seemingly without effort. People wrote songs about her, blew her kisses in liner notes. Tracy had no time for equivocating bullshit. She wanted what she wanted and hated what she hated. One night, when we were all drinking after work, the editor-in-chief told us that he'd heard from a friend in a band who sometimes slept with Tracy that Tracy was getting herself handcuffed fortnightly to the bed of a famous writer for The New Yorker. Rose rolled her eyes, and I said, "Nice work if you can get it." But on the train home, we both confessed to wishing we were somewhere in the vicinity of invitations to what we used to call the